Meeting of the Sacramento-Yolo Port District Commission. We will start, as always, with our Pledge of Allegiance. I'll ask Commissioner Villegas to please lead us tonight. Excuse me. So as we begin tonight's meeting, I want to remind anybody that's here to speak that anyone that's looking to address the commission should fill out the request to speak form, present it to the clerk. They're on the side table over there if you want that, and try to get those to us before the end of the staff report. At this time, we're going to go ahead and start with item 1, which is presentations by the public on matters not in the agenda but within our jurisdiction. Any requests to speak? Would anyone like to speak? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. We have 3 items on the consent agenda, so at this time I'll ask commissioners if there's any questions, comments, or motions. We had a motion and a second on the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the consent agenda passes. Moving on to the regular agenda, we're looking for a presentation of the Port Business Plan Implementation Update.
Good evening, Commissioners. This has been a monthly update. I wanted to start by letting you know that what we plan to do going forward, it was mentioned in the staff report also, is to do these on a quarterly basis going forward. This is definitely the most substantive update you're receiving because a lot has happened since the last month, given the budget being adopted and the SSA master lease being done. But as we go forward, we'll be doing these on a quarterly basis. So I just wanted to quickly go through what has happened, what's been updated. You'll see on the table, if I draw your attention to that, attachment to the staff report, we noted where items have been completed. And as you can see, we're about a little over halfway through completion of the 21 recommendations in the plan. There are several others that are in the works, but in general, the financial control section, those first 4, really related to the budget, retiring the debt. Those were all done over the last couple of months. The operating model transition was tied to the master lease agreement, so obviously that's done and in place now with SSA. And in that master lease agreement, we did retain, as recommendation number 7 sought to do, retain the real estate assets that were undeveloped. And that's really our focus going forward as the next items 8 through 13 address is advancing the port's real estate further, both the North Terminal properties but also Seaway. And on Seaway, as Marty will go into a little bit more in his report, but we plan to start bringing you kind of monthly workshops or updates on what we're doing with the Seaway property. We're really trying to move aggressively towards a development strategy that could result in an RFP, or we'll see where we go. But right now we're putting the team together and identifying constraints and doing everything we can to move that project forward. Other than that, we are a lot's going to depend on what happens with the legislative session on item number 12. We're coordinating our community investment efforts with the city to make sure that the port would be able to take advantage of the same new tools that the city would under that scenario. And then also on number 13, I just want to mention that we are talking to interested parties in our Delta lands, the state of California being one of them, as potential habitat mitigation. So you may be seeing items in the near future related to that, to those properties. Let's see, lastly, or actually going into cargo, we have the lease now done, so item 14 was really about just making sure that there's a good transition for our cargo clients, no disruptions there. And then also a couple of other items that were complete, the foreign trade zone marketing. We have a kind of an informal arrangement with the Northern California World Trade Center to do some of the marketing of that program, but we're also finding that it's a lot of things can be done in-house with our economic development staff to further promote that program. So we're going to be trying to get more interest and hopefully generate some new licensees for the program as a result of that. And then on 18, we did include in the SSA lease that they would be purchasing the air credits So that item was complete as well. And then lastly, I'll just point out that on 20 and 21, the community relations, we have, these projects are all underway. The lighting project is done, but we're also doing, through a grant from Cal Recycle, doing the hazmat abatement project with the old service building. And lastly, doing the boat removal that will result in better and safer access to Lake Washington. So that's kind of where things stand right now. As I said, we'll be coming back in October. That would be the next quarter report, and give you an update on the items that are still underway. So if there's any questions, Rick or I are here to answer them. Thanks.
Thanks, Aaron. Any questions, Aaron, from the commission? Seeing none. Is there additional parts to this update?
That's it.
So thanks for continuing update. So we'll see these in October. Next one in October. Okay. If that is it, we'll go ahead and move on to the commission reports. Any other items on the port CEO?
Just a couple items. One, I want to commend Rick Toff on the Cal Recycling grant as the port's, as our landlord here, as we focus on this new era where we're not in the maritime business, but we're focused on being a great landlord. Rick has done a great job in terms of getting grant funding to help clean up the port. The Cal Recycling grant has been a big help, and I think you'll see changes both from the entrance of the port and then as you get into the water, some of the cleanup. So it will be, in the next few months, a lot of activity going there. Tomorrow we have the training tower dedication at 4 o'clock. That will be at the port. At that time, we also have, I will not be there. We're focused on a PG&E issue as it relates to Tower Bridge Gateway and the relocation of the gas line there. So we meet with PG&E tomorrow, but hope that you can attend that dedication of the tower. And then Aaron mentioned Seaway. Given that we're sort of changing the focus of the staff's role at the port to focus on real estate, we wanted to take a really good look at the strategy of the 277 acres at Seaway and really tee that up, as Aaron mentioned, for an RFP later this year. We would like to use the Port Commission as sort of a focus group on that and prepare the changes that we envision in terms of mixed-use development potentially at Seaway and have that ready so that it can be part of our general plan update and be rather seamless, and that we can take advantage potentially of the upswing in the real estate market to be able to do something with Seaway that in the coming new year.
Well, we look forward to all those. So tomorrow afternoon is tower dedication, right? Okay, thank you. Any other port manager reports? None? So that is on our agenda. So
just a question, maybe just a comment. It's not to digress, but I just wonder if in this new era we might want to identify or place on the agenda, either standing or on occasion, an update from SSA in terms of the work that's going on, the things that are happening. I mean, obviously we've now transitioned, and I would love to hear. And obviously, if it's worthy of agenda item, it'll come to us, and we'll get to know naturally. But I would love to hear, to the extent possible, updates on what is happening and what they foresee and what we might expect as we enter into this new era. And I don't want to, I mean, it doesn't have to be a standing item, but I would love to hear periodically, as I think we will with our existing planning document, but updates on where we're headed and what good things.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't know, Frank? You could.
Would you mind coming to the, thank you, to the podium? Thank you. And make sure the microphone's on. Sir. No, there's, at the base there's a, there you go. Thank you. There you go.
In the lease, we will give you monthly updates of what's going on, starting in August. So just so you know, we'll present a report to Rick, and then he can share it with you guys.
Okay.
That's part of the lease. That's what we're obligated to do, and we plan on doing that.
Okay,
But I also think maybe to the commission, I don't know if we want to do that quarterly, where you see trends occurring in carbon development.
Yeah, right now we're focused on the transition of getting the permits and everything going on. We just finished the black sand. We loaded 30,350 metric tons of black sand going to China. That just finished, and we're just finishing the rice season. So coming up again, tenders will come out again in September for rice. We're talking to iron ore customers, more black sand possibly right now, and we're very hopeful for the possibilities that may come forward with, I'm working with John Cushing, who you guys met. But as far as anything immediate right now, nothing right now other than transitioning over, getting all our ducks in a row, and making it a smooth transition as possible. We have to move the buildings and because our footprint has shrunk, so we're looking at office spaces and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think what we can do on the quarterly reports, they'll be, you know, October will be the next one. We can have, you know,
Yeah,
Frank or
absolutely.
representative from SSA. As we do the business plan update, we can also get an update from SSA, if that sounds good.
That would be great.
Quarterly, I think that'd be a good idea, Aaron.
Yep.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Okay, if there's no other, good suggestion, Commissioner. If there's no other questions or items, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.